Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Lolex. In today's lesson, we'll be taking a look at the present perfect tense. The present perfect is a very common and sometimes very confusing verb form. The reason this verb tense is so confusing is that it connects two times, the present and the past. Let's look a little more at how we use the present perfect. Actions described using the present perfect actually happened in the past. Let me repeat that. Actions described using the present perfect tense actually happened in the past. The verb tense is called the present perfect, but the action is not in the present. It happened in the past. Why do we use a present tense verb form to talk about an action that happened in the past? Because we are not focusing on the action, but on the fact that we now have the experience of that action. For example, if I went to Paris 10 years ago, the action is finished, but I still have the experience now. So we can make this sentence. I have visited Paris. There are many words that signal that we should use the present perfect. When you use already, yet, never, and ever, you generally want to use the present perfect. Here are some examples to help you understand. My friend Claire says, I just got this new book and I started reading it last night. It's strange. I don't know if I like it. Then I say, oh, I have read that one. It starts off strange, but it gets better. Notice that verb in the present perfect. I have read. I read the book in the past, but we are not talking about the past when I read the book. Claire is talking about reading the book now. I use the present perfect to connect my experience with what Claire is talking about. When I say, I have read that one, I am saying I have that experience. So I can talk about it with you now in the present. To connect one's experience with the current situation, later verbs that are in the present tense, look at these examples. I've been to Colombia. I could give you some tips. This candidate has worked in finance for 10 years. I think she's a good match for the job. Using for and since with present perfect. When used with for or since, the present perfect tense is a little different. When we use for and since, it describes situations that began in the past and are still true today. Since can be used to specify the time when the situation began. For example, I have lived in Boston since 2008. I have studied English since I was a child. I have had a headache since last night. For is used to specify a length of time, also called duration. Some examples. I have lived in Boston for 10 years. I have studied English for a long time. I have had a headache for 12 hours. Forming the present perfect. To form the present perfect, we use the present form of the helping verb have and the perfect form of the main verb. So in the table, we see first person singular, I have worked. First person plural, we have worked. Second person singular, you have worked. Second person plural, you have worked. Third person singular, he has worked, she has worked, it has worked. Third person plural, they have worked. Other forms of the present perfect. In the present perfect, you will always use have or has as your helping verb. To form a question, put have before the subject of the sentence. Have you visited Paris? Has she been healthy? How have you been? What have you studied? When forming a negative in the present perfect, not goes between the helping verb, that is have or has, and the main verb. I have not visited Paris. I haven't been bad. To make a passive sentence in the present perfect, use be in the present perfect, that is has been or have been, and then the perfect form of the main verb. My package has been delivered already. You have been selected for a special offer. That concludes today's lesson. If you have any questions or doubts, please leave a comment. Thank you.